Good evening and welcome to The Bluff on the campus of the University of Portland in the St. John's district of Oregon's largest city. The Portland Barbers getting ready to host the Eugene Challengers, the third place finisher out of their area. I always get the areas mixed up, so I'm not even going to try to screw that one up. I already know I will. The Barbers, not too many losses on the season, but one of those losses came to the Eugene Challengers. Speaking with Bill Crawford, voice of the Challengers, a few minutes ago, he told me the only team they have not lost to in this tournament is the Hillsboro Red Sox, and they have not played the Red Sox this season. That is the only reason they have not lost to Hillsboro. For the Eugene Challengers, taking a look at their roster, number 24, Aiden Hibbler will get the start at third base. He'll bat first. Number 7, Kyle Miller will be in right field, followed by starting pitcher number 14, Grady Saunders. No DH for Eugene. They will bat all 9 defensive players. Number 23, Connor Clift at first base. Number 10, Caden Gould will be tonight's starting catcher for Eugene. Number 12, Braden Corrigan at second base. Number 8, playing in the 8th position, Landon Lay in center field. Number 31, Grady Hazen gets the start at shortstop, and number 6, Jalen Riddle will be in left field. We'll go ahead and take a 1-minute break, and when we come back, we'll get you a look at the roster for the other side, the Portland Barbers, in 2 minutes.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
Same great smile, same great service, but a brand new location and a great new team. Sarah Hesselman Group is still proud to support Banks High School athletics, but has now joined the Premier Property Group real estate team with new offices located in Bethany. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact the Sarah Hesselman Group, Sarah at sarahhesselman.com, or call 503-313-0748.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main Street pizza.
Explore your world with Donna Mallard Hawkins at Infinity Escapes Travel. She's a Banks alum and can help you find great deals on cruises with Regent Seven Seas and discounts on guests with Virgin Voyages and Royal Caribbean. Want to stay ashore? Check out featured tours like national parks of the American West, bike tours of Croatia and Madagascar. Book your next vacation with Donna Maller Hawkins and Infinity Escapes Travel, calling 823-634-8080 or visit infinityescapestravel.com. Earlier before the break, I misspoke. I said there was only one team in this tournament that Eugene had not lost to. I want to flip that around. Eugene has beat almost every team in this tournament with the exception of the Hillsboro Wet Sox, who they have not played yet this season. The loser of this game will have a good chance to play the Hillsboro Wet Sox, though, tomorrow. And a team that the Barbers are very familiar with, as Portland Hillsdale, the area champions, and Hillsboro all advanced out of the Portland American Legion area to advance to the state tournament here at Joe ETZEL Field on the campus of the University of Portland. For the Barbers, number 6, Kainoa Santiago, will get the start and lead off in center field. Number 15, Griffin Scott, designated hitter, will bat second. Number 18, Dakota Chun, starting catcher. Batting cleanup, number 19, Gabe Coltman from Sunset, gets the start in right field. Number 16, Carter Stewart at first base. Number 4, Joe Fagan at third base. Number 24, Raiden Nakamura in left field. Number 1, Logan Nakamura at second base. Jaden Nakamura, yes, all three players are related. Jaden will play at second, and starting pitcher tonight for the Barbers, number 16, Connor Perry. The Barbers are coached by Joe Duran. Assisted by Bob Bertrand, Brady Ching, Jason Fritz, Andy Miller, Dave Shoppy, and Cooper Smith. Eugene is coached by Kenny Niles, assisted by John Goldhager, Scott Johnson, and Ryan Royster. We'll take another 2-minute break, and when we come back, we should be set for tonight's national anthem. Still about 15 minutes away, though, to first pitch. Talk about some other things coming up, starting with fall sports at the end of the American Legion tournament, or just a couple of weeks away. And get you a look at other scores from games earlier in the tournament when we come back after this 2-minute break. Whether it's a steaming hot old-fashioned cup of joe or hot chocolate on a cold winter day, or an ice-cold Italian soda or iced coffee on a hot summer day, any time is a great time to stop by Scoggins Creek Coffee. With 2 locations in Gaston and Yamhill Carlton, their warm and friendly baristas will get you the delicious drink of your choice. Scoggins Creek Coffee, call 503-985-3483, 503-985-3483.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye's is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets, custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye's is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsboro. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahayes.com, or call us at 503-648-2341.
At Wana Credit Union, every individual is unique, with different needs, different wants, and different goals. This is who we are, and we live here. Our families live here. Our friends live here. This is our home, because to us, you're not a number. You're an individual. Wana Credit Union. Individuals welcome.
O'Leary Air is proudly offering Dakin Comfort Pro HVAC products. They've been serving the West Side and Greater Portland Metro since 2015. They pride themselves in getting the job done right, backed by a legacy of integrity, respect, and honesty. O'Leary Air offers competitive pricing on all their work. Give them a call today at 503-989-5251. That's 503-989-5251. Online at o'learyair.com. CCB number 239855.
And we're back taking a look at other scores from the Oregon AAA American Legion Tournament for 2025. Quarterfinal action began at 10 o'clock this morning. Hillsdale, champions of the Portland area, defeated Roseburg, the second place finisher out of the Southern Oregon and Mid-Willamette area, by a score of 4-2. Hillsdale will advance to the winner's bracket on Monday. And Roseburg will advance. Actually, winner's bracket also continues tomorrow. Roseburg drops into the loser's bracket. The game number 2 saw a close game and a pitcher's duel throughout. Corvallis gets the victory over the Hillsborough Red Sox by a score of 2-1 in 9 innings, extra innings in game number 2, and the game ended on a controversial play that saw 3 officials converge, and Hillsborough fans wanted the Corvallis hitter called out for leaving the batter's box. Corvallis fans said it was catcher interference. Hillsborough fans said the ball hit the batter. Even though the ball was ruled a base hit, and they ruled all 3 runners safe. The next batter, Corvallis walked it off with a suicide squeeze and won it 2-1 in 9 innings to advance. Game number 3, no contest between the Medford Mustangs, the champions of the Southern Oregon Mid-Willamette Valley area, defeating Staten, the second place finisher of the Salem and Mid-Willamette area, by a score of 10-3. Medford jumped out to a 10-0 lead after the third inning and cruised after that as Staten committed 3 errors. They were able to settle down defensively and score a handful of runs late, but way overmatched for the Medford Mustangs, who have won this state tournament, seems like at least about a half a dozen times, dating back to the last 30 years or so. Barbers will be in their black uniforms, red numerals with white trim, red and black circular shield on the sleeve, black hat with red Boston B, red bills on the hat, white pants with red pinstripe. And before we get started with the introduction of the rosters And tonight's national anthem, they're going to recognize the I believe it's the 1965, or correction, 1969 state tournament champions, or national champions. Not sure if the tournament was held in Shelby, North Carolina back then, but quite an accomplishment for this group making its way onto the field. And the members that will be recognized tonight, players from that team that are still with us. The tournament back in 1969 held in Omaha, which is where the decision for the American Legion to sponsor Summer League Baseball was first made 100 years ago. Players being introduced by name individually. Including Dave Gasser, head coach, or a longtime head coach of Astoria, a man we're quite familiar with during our time broadcasting Banks High School athletics, which segues us into talking about high school sports right around the corner, the 2025-26 season, and the Banks Braves football and volleyball getting underway. New head co-coaches for volleyball this season, I believe Suzanne Alley and Megan Bunn. Megan Bunn, a member of the state championship team back in 2015, our first opportunity to broadcast a state title for the Banks Braves and their high school sports fans. And a member of that American Legion World Series championship team, throwing out the first pitch from just up the third baseline from home plate all the way back to the backstop for the ceremonial first pitch. Banks football, which should have another opportunity to make another deep run. A lot of key players back, including quarterback Elaine Gilbert, Wyatt Jackson, who will be listed as a running back, but catch a lot of passes out of the flat. And others will be back for a deep run for Banks, who lost to eventual state champion Burns, the 11th seed, who pulled off quite a run and quite the upset to take home the 2024 OSAA 3A State Football Championship with a victory over Vail or Ontario, I can't remember which, for the state title in Bend last year. And volleyball sounds like has a pretty good crew coming in for this year as well, and a chance to be a playoff team once again, as they had a strong volleyball crew for quite a number of years and have fallen off the last 3 or 4 years or so, but looking to get back to the state tournament once again, which will be held on the South Coast at North Bend and Marshfield in November. The Eugene Overhead Door Challengers, Overhead Door, a garage door company in Eugene that has been sponsoring the Challengers for quite a number of years. Prior to that, Weimart, a longtime Northwest retailer based in Eugene, also sponsored the Challengers. Eugene will be wearing royal blue uniforms, red numerals with white trim, gray pants with red pinstripe. Challengers in white ribbon font across the chest with the overhead door logo on the end of the sleeves. Royal blue caps with EC in the center with bright red bills on the caps. Again, starters tonight for the Challengers, number 24, Aiden Hibbler at third base. Number 7, Kyle Miller, starting in right field, will bat second. Number 14, starting pitcher, Grady Saunders, hitting third. Cleanup batter, number 23, Connor Clift at first base. Number 10, Caden Gould, will be behind the plate. Number 12, Braden Corrigan at second base. Number 8, Landon Lay in center field. Number 31, Grady Hazen at shortstop, and number 6, Jalen Riddle in left field. For the Barbers, starting tonight, number 6, Kanoa Santiago in center field. Number 15, Griffin Scott gets the start at DH. Number 18, Dakota Chun will be behind the plate and bat third. Hitting cleanup, number 19, Gabe Coltman will be in right field. Number 16, Carter Stewart at first base. Number 10, Carter Stewart at first base. Number 4, Joe Fagan at third base. Number 24, Raiden Nakamura in left field. Number 1, Logan Nakamura at second base. Number 8, Jada Nakamura at shortstop. And number 16, Connor Perry will get the start of pitcher. We're going to go ahead and take another 2-minute break, and if we're still in the middle of the national anthem, we'll come back after that.
Do you have your next vacation planned? Whether it's time for a cruise, weekend getaway, or a bucket list resort, let Lazy Hammock Travel in North Plains help you. Lazy Hammock Travel, your passport to relaxation. Call Jason Ackerman at 503-332-5571 or visit their website, lazyhammocktravel.com. Lazy Hammock Travel, proud sponsors of Banks Braves Athletics and American Legion Baseball on Westside Mobile Media.
Are you looking for a job with flexible hours, a way to support your community, or a first step toward a career in education? ESS has exciting substitute teacher and paraprofessional openings at schools throughout Eastern Yamhill, Columbia, and Washington counties. You'll enjoy creating your own schedule with weekly pay, ongoing training, and benefits. Begin your rewarding career in education by applying today at ESS.com.
Banks Post newspaper is the official news provider of West Side's greatest hits. Listen hourly for West Side news from the Banks Post newsroom Banks Post newspaper covers Banks, Manning, Buxton, Roy, and surrounding western Washington County communities. If you'd like more information on the Banks Post or want to pick up a copy, visit a local business today. You can also visit their website at bankspost.com or their Facebook page, Banks Post.
And we're back. 2025 Oregon AAA American Legion tournament final quarterfinal between the Portland Barbers, the host team, and the Eugene Challengers, the second place finisher of the Southern Oregon and Southern Willamette Valley area. Three areas make up Oregon AAA baseball: the Mid-Willamette Valley and the Coast, Southern Oregon and Southern Willamette Valley, and the Portland area. Again, getting the start tonight on the mound for the Barbers, number 16, Connor Perry. First hitter he will face will be number 24, Aiden Hibbler for Eugene, starting third baseman. Thanks football opening the season at Santiam Christian the week following Labor Day. First home game will be the following week against 4A Seaside. They could get the next reclassification coming up in December, which would start the 2026-27 season. Could move back up to the 4A level. But likely would stay at a much revised 3A level, with OSAA apparently set to be going back to a 5 classification system starting in September of 2027 for September 2026 for high school athletics in the state of Oregon. And we're set for the first pitch. Leading off for Eugene, number 24, third baseman Aiden Hibbler. First pitch from Perry, the right-hander. Big kick, high fastball, swung on and missed, 0-1. Misses low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. One pitch, kind of half turn out of the way, but taken for strike 2, 1-2 the count. One-two pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. 1 out for the Challengers in the top of the first. Now batting right fielder number 7, Kyle Miller. First pitch, fastball, a little left to right sweeper action is swung on and missed, 0-1. Connor Perry looks pretty good to start the game. Has only missed on 1 pitch. And close that time started out a little bit high. I don't think it was able to drop into the strike zone. 1-1 the count. 1-1 pitch popped up to shallow center. Coming over is the second baseman, to make the catch for the Barbers, Logan Nakamura, for out number 2. I'll bring up the pitcher, number 14, Grady Saunders. A lot of players stay way back in the batter's box. Big wide stance for Saunders, takes the first pitch, called strike. It's just outside, 1-1. Perry has not gotten behind a hitter yet. The first 3 he's faced for Eugene. Pitch chopped high to shortstop. And throw is in time. Oh, no. Close play. Bang, bang. And Saunders is going to be safe at first. We'll go ahead and call that an infield base hit, although the left side of the infield, Nakamura and Fagan almost ran into each other, and I think a little bit of a delay on who was going to take the high chopper may have cost the Barbers the 3rd out of the inning. Pitch is taken for strike 1 at the knees, 0-1. Taken for strike 2 on the inside corner. To Connor Cliff, the first baseman. Pitch is chopped high out of the batter's box behind the plate, back towards the kind of the VIP seating area right next to the Challenger dugout, 1 on each side, right next to the dugout for each side, kind of almost like an orchestra well. 1-2 the count to Connor Cliff, 2 outs. And an infield base hit to the left side for Eugene to open the contest. Pitch is lifted up to the left side. That's going to drift out of play over beyond the very short bullpen area near the hitting facility off the third base side. Still 1-2, 2 outs. And pitch misses off the plate outside to the left-handed hitter. Count is even, 2-2. Perry starts way back behind the rubber, but when he starts his delivery, is barely touching the front of the rubber with a wide stance throw back to first, not in time. Left foot planted out in front towards the plate. Perry. That fires again. Strike 3 called. Ring him up for the second K of the inning for Connor Perry. Eugene gets an infield base hit to the left side of the infield, the shortstop to be exact. After half an inning, no runs, no 1 base hit, no errors, and after half an inning, it's Eugene 0. And the Barbers coming to the plate when we return. Legacy Roofing can save your home from leaks, mold, and other issues related to an older roof, preventing future roof issues, saving you thousands of dollars. They use only the most trusted materials backed by an excellent warranty that is transferred if you ever sell your home. Legacy is tops in their field, earning the GAF Master Elite certification and the Golden Pledge warranty. For more information or to get a free quote, call 503-357-7663 today.
Divine Home Solutions can upgrade your kitchen with quality cabinets. Divine Home Solution focuses on quick turnaround time from lead to completion. They also have luxury vinyl plank flooring as well. Don't just make your kitchen beautiful, make it divine. Divine Home Solutions, 971-407-6742 or 971-325-7759 and online at divinehome.solutions.
Bottom of the first inning, leading off for the Barbers. Number 6, Kainoa Santiago, the center fielder, followed by number 15, designated hitter Griffin Scott, and number 18, Dakota Chun. The catcher hitting cleanup will be power hitter number 19, right fielder Gabe Coleman. And Kainoa Santiago steps to the plate, leading things off for the Barbers. First pitch from Saunders. Right-hander is upstairs for ball 1. Pitch is swung on, driven to the gap between right center. That's going to bounce up off the top of the wall, and Kainoa Santiago is going to be aboard on a leadoff double deep to center field, almost right center, near the one of the 2 purple and white pilot logos built into the kind of canvas netting fence. 325 to left, 369 to left center, 388 to straightaway center, 367 to right center, and 325 to the right field corner. The dimensions at Joe ETZEL Field, formerly known as Farley Field. Saunders with a runner at second in scoring position. Already the Barbers have a good chance to score. First pitch to Griffin Scott, home run swing. Can't catch up with the pitch, 0-1. Saunders, the 0-1 delivery, looks back at second. Looks again, comes to the plate, misses low and away, 1-1 the count. One pitch, again, misses outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. One pitch taken all the way for strike 2. Ken is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch, strike 3 called. Ring him up. Griffin Scott caught looking at strike 3 for the first out of the bottom of the first, and Kainoa Santiago will have to stay put at second as Dakota Chun, Barbers catcher, left-handed hitter, comes to the plate with 1 out. First pitch swung on and missed, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to Dakota Chun, taken high for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. University of Portland, despite all the changes made to the landscape of college athletics, will stay in the West Coast Conference. Gonzaga moving into the Pac-12 for all sports but football, which they do not participate in. 1-2 the count as Dakota Chun can't connect, coming up empty on that swing. Seattle University, though, is coming in to join the West Coast Conference, another non-football school. The West Coast Conference is pretty much a non-football conference. I don't think there's any teams in that league that participate in football. 1-2, pitch down and in. Flares it off to the left side over the top of the short concourse here at Joe ETZEL Field. Only, according to the official numbers in the program, seats 1,300, but based on where we were sitting earlier today, it looks much, much less than that. 1-2 pitch is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, pitch is lifted over the top. Out of play, foul, just a little bit up the third base side over the top of the netting. 2-2. Pilots and Joe ETZEL Field had their highest season attendance-wise back, I believe, in the mid-90s, and averaged only about 350 that season. So attendance numbers might, or capacity might actually be closer to that. Count is full as that pitch misses inside to Dakota Chun, 3-2. Santiago still on its second. Big pitch for both sides. Saunders gets Chun to lift one foul deep down the left field line off the roof of the Andy Bonovi hitting facility. In the left field corner, still a full count to Dakota Chun. Team with a base hit in the first inning. Again, the 3-2 from Saunders. Fastball blew it past him, cutting right to left against the left-handed hitter. And it's out number 2 on the second strikeout for Saunders. Batting number 19, Gabe Coldman. Right fielder for the Barbers. Had a little bit of everything so far this tournament. Just the first 3 games, Medford scored 10 runs, all in the first 3 innings. Their 10-3 victory over Staten, or officially the Canyon Crushers as they're known. Based in Staten. First pitch is inside to Gabe Coldman. Had a defensive pitcher's duel in the game prior, a 2-1 victory by Corvallis over Hillsborough. 1-1 the count. Coleman takes a first strike of the at-bat. Barbers trying to not waste a leadoff double. Swung on and missed on a breaking ball down and away. 1-2 the count. Saunders just a pitch away from getting out of the inning despite allowing a leadoff base runner advance into scoring position. Saunders steps off. The 1-2. Back to second. Pitches up and away. Count is even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two for Saunders, a big momentum killer for the Barbers, and a big momentum swing back to the challengers as Saunders gives up a leadoff double, but then strikes out the side against the Barbers after an inning. Eugene nothing, and the Barbers nothing. We'll be back with the top of the second in just a moment.
Your local lender, Christy Van Meter at Union Home Mortgage, is here to walk you through every step in purchasing your new home. Christy and her team bring trusted knowledge and years of experience to make your home loan financing process an enjoyable one. If you're in the business or have questions about purchasing or refinancing your home, call Christy Van Meter at Union Home Mortgage, 503-327-5302, or visit uhm.com/kvanmeter. Union Home Mortgage, official sponsor of the PBR. Union Home Mortgage promises cap. Christy Van Meter is licensed in Oregon 1700271, Washington MLO-1700271, and Arizona 1039867. Union Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2229.
Casey Ogden is a healthcare expert with more than 40 years in the field serving others and is college certified in nursing and healthcare administration. Her business, Casey Ogden Healthcare Services, offers everything you need for home health, from limited medical equipment, meal preparation, medication management, medical transportation, and more. Call 971-273-6058 or email caseyogden.hcs.llc@gmail.com.
Leading off the top of the second for Eugene, number 10, Caden Gould, the Challengers catcher. First pitch from Connor Perry. Threw it so hard his hat fell off and missed away outside, 1-0. Fouled off through the legs of catcher Dakota Chun all the way to the backstop, 1-1. Pitch is swung on and missed on a tailing fastball, 1-2 the count. Top of the second, no score. 1-2 pitch down. No dirt officially here at Joe ETZEL Field. All turf, even the base paths. Darker turf, hard grounder to first. Taking the bag easily. Number 10 for the Barbers, Carter Stewart. One out for Eugene in the top of the second inning, batting number 12. Braden Corgan. First pitch swung on and missed, 0-1, and it looks like both pitchers may be in a little bit of a groove and locked in. The 0-1, and as soon as I say that, grounded right back up the middle off the glove. Throw to first. Oh, they got him on a bang-bang play off the glove of Connor Perry, the unassisted, or the unofficial assist off the tip of his glove to Logan Nakamura at second. The throw to first on the 1-4-3 out on the grounder for out number 2. Landon Lay, the center fielder, with 2 outs for Eugene in the top of the second, takes the first pitch called strike. The 0-1 misses just outside off the glove of catcher Dakota Chun, 1-1. One pitch from Connor Perry, lined back up the middle for the second base hit of the game for the Challengers. Connor Lay with a 2-out single in the top of the second. That'll bring up the 8-hitter number 31, Grady Hazen, the shortstop. I have a feeling runs and hits may be at a premium in this contest as well. First pitch from Perry misses badly, low and away, ball 1. Swung on high chopper to third. Gonna have to hurry the throw. It's in time. Barely a nice play by the third baseman, Joe Fagan, for the Barbers to make the throw across to first in time for out number 3 in the top of the second. But the Challengers do get a 2-out single and leave Connor Lay stranded at first after 1.5. Still the Barbers nothing, and the Challengers yet to score as well. No runs, 1 base hit for Eugene in the top of the second. Go to the bottom of the second inning, no score.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
And we're back, bottom of the second inning. I'll make sure we give credit to Eugene for their second base hit of the game, leading off for the Barbers. Number 10, Carter Stewart, first baseman. First pitch taken outside, ball 1. One pitch, swung on and popped sky high to the left side. Shortstop lost it. And the Barbers are going to get a 2-base error on the pop fly to short. Lost it in the sun, and Connor Stewart is aboard to start the second inning for the Barbers. They're ruling that a base hit. I don't understand how, but sure about that. We'll go with the official scorekeeper. Brady Hazen lost it in the sun. A few shadows from the lights on the infield and shallow center cutting across into right field. Batting for the Barbers, number 4, third baseman Joe Fagan. Nobody out in the top of the second. And what has been ruled an infield base hit on a pop fly to the shortstop that appeared to be an error to me, but Joe Fagan takes strike 2, 1-2 the count. One-two pitch, line back up the middle. Oh, incredible diving grab. They'll get the runner at first. No, they won't. It threw it away. That will go as an error. And scoring all the way from second base, Carter Stewart makes the score 1-0 Barbers on what, if this isn't an error, I'll eat my underwear or something. That's that's got to be an error on that play, as second baseman made an incredible dive to his right to make the stop and then rushed the throw to first, throwing it into the dugout, allowing Carter Stewart to reach touch home plate. Still nobody out in the bottom of the second. Number 24 for the Barbers. Ryden Nakamura, the left fielder. Pitch is foul tipped into the glove of the Eugene catcher, Caden Gould. And they still have not put that error on the board, but they haven't given the Barbers a base hit either on that bad throw from Braden Corrigan at second base. Joe Fagan at second after reaching on an error. A fine stop by the second baseman, but an overthrow on the attempt on the assist to first. Pitch is swung on and missed by Nakamura. 1-2 the count. One run on one base hit and one error. They do finally put the error on the board for the challenger. The 1-2 to Nakamura, low and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Winner advances to take on Medford. Two pitch, runner at second. Fagan starts to go and then thinks better of it about a third of the way between second and third. Pitch misses, count is full, 3-2. The Barbers left fielder, Logan Nakamura. Saunders the 3-2, looks back at Fagan at second. Pitch is swung on and laced down the right field side, but it's going to drift foul into kind of some weird angles along the baselines between first and third and home plate. Throw down to third is not in time. And ball starts to get away from the third baseman, but Joe Fagan advances to third and pitches ball 4. So Logan Nakamura will give the Barbers runners at the corner. Still nobody out in the bottom of the second. And a 1-0 lead for Barbers hitter Logan Nakamura. Previous hitter, 3 different players, all with the same last name. And I called Ryden Logan. The previous hitter Logan is now at the plate. Ryden is safe at first after reaching on a walk with already a run in and a base hit and an error for Eugene in the bottom of the second. And an early visit to the mound from challengers to come out and talk with Eugene starter. Grady Saunders. Home plate umpire comes out to break up the visit. Not sure his name, but we're familiar with his face. We saw him last week at the Senior American State Tournament at Banks last weekend. Now batting Logan Nakamura. Barber's second baseman shows bunt. Pitches outside. They're going to give Ryden second base. Runners at second and third. Nobody out. 1-0 the count to Logan Nakamura. Jaden will be on deck next. Nice off-speed pitch that time. Unable to time it. 1-1 the count on a swing and a miss. Saunders the 1-1. One eye on third, one eye at the plate, and pitch is ripped foul into the pitcher's practice netting in the bullpen area off of third base. 1-2. Pitch is up and a little bit outside. 2-2 the count. Barbers with a decent chance to have a pretty big inning, especially in what has been a pitcher's duel early. Very good opportunity to score at least 3 runs in the inning. Runners at second and third and nobody out, and a run already scored. Pitch is fouled off the end of the bat straight back that time by Logan. Count is even 2-2. Even a pair of sacrifices should score a pair of runs with nobody out, and Barbers in a pretty good position to have at least a 3-0 lead after 2 innings. Pitch from Saunders. Misses low and away. Count is full. Three-two pitch. Swung on and lifted out of play, foul off the left base side. No, this is not an episode of Angels in the outfield. Hulk Hogan is not on the diamond, and this is not a contest in heaven, but we do have an issue with I believe it's Joe Fagan at third. Light shining on him based on our camera angle once he appears on screen that he is just absolutely glowing. Pitch is inside for ball 4. The bases are loaded. Nobody out, and a chance for the Barbers to break it wide open here in the bottom of the second inning. Now the last of 3 Nakamura's in the lineup. Jaden Nakamura. Hopefully he can Nakamura runs home. Pitch is taken a little bit high, ball 1. The 1-0 swung on and fouled straight back towards us into the top of the screen. A little bit off to the left behind home plate, 1-1. Bottom of the first inning, 1 run on 1 base hit, but the bases are loaded. Also 1 error for the challengers in the inning. Showing bunt. He went around, but was unable to make contact. 1-2 the count. Big pitch for Saunders. If he gets a strikeout here without allowing a run, it would mean Eugene could get out of the inning with a double play. The 1-2 turned on and missed on a pitch down and in for out number 1, and now Eugene can get out of it with a double play. And without allowing a run in the inning. Top of the order, number 6, center fielder Kainoa Santiago. First pitch is up, ball 1. Want to know the count? Pitch swung on, lifted to the left side. Racing in, the left fielder. Oh, he lost it near the line. The Barbers are going to score a run on the second error of the game for Eugene, and it's 2-0 Barbers with still just one out on what should have been the second out of the inning. They do put it on the board as an E7. 2 runs on a 1 base hit, 2 errors in the inning for Eugene. Still, the bases are loaded, only 1 out. Pitch up and in, ball 1. Griffin Scott at the plate for the second time this inning, and the second time in the contest, and we have time called as catcher Aiden Gould wants to go out and meet with Saunders and the Eugene third baseman. Number 14, Grady. Which is a called strike to Griffin Scott. Third baseman Aiden Hibbler also involved in that last meeting on the mound. Almost said number 14, but number 14 is the pitcher, Saunders. 1-2 the count. That pitch fouled straight back. Again, Griffin Scott, the hitter, struck out his previous at bat. 2-0 Barbers, 2 hits in the game, only 1 in the inning, 2 errors from Eugene helping out the Barbers. Pitch is outside as Saunders just missed the back right corner of the plate. Count is even at 2-2. And fouled straight back, just to the right behind home plate. Count remains even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the second of the final quarterfinal match of the 2025 Oregon AAA American Legion State Tournament on the campus of the University of Portland at Joe ETZEL Field. Again, a big pitch for Saunders, trailing 2-0 at 2-2. Pops straight back out of play. Despite having probably one of the smallest college baseball stadiums around, although we have been told Pacific University in Forest Grove is well under 1,000. It does have a pretty nice press box for what it is, as Griffin Scott goes down for the second time on a called third strike. Batting number 18, Dakota Chun, Barbers catcher. Press box rooms are about half the size of that as at Hillsborough Ballpark for the Hillsborough Hops, but nice rolling folding chairs. First pitch to Dakota Chun is a called strike 0-1. Big riders area at the end of press row. Separate room for PA and music just behind the door. 2 radio booths and big riders area at the end of the press row facility. The 0-2 pitch is fouled over top of the net, just off to the left behind home plate. 0-2 the count. And if Eugene could get out of this inning allowing just the 1 run, it would be a coup for the challengers after what happened to them in this inning, as the Barbers were on the attack for much of the bottom of the second inning, despite just a 1 hit, but 2 errors from Eugene. Bases still loaded, though, and Chance to do more damage, but the Barbers down to their final strike. The 0-2 from Saunders. Runners likely going on the pitch. And it's lifted to a left center and making the catch. Drifting to his left for the challengers. Jalen Riddle for out number 3. But the Barbers do tack on another run on just one base hit, 2 challenger errors. And after 2 innings, it's the Portland Barbers 2 and the Eugene Challengers nothing, back with the top of the 3rd inning. After this, from Specialty Screen Printing.
Specialty Screen Printing in Yamhill offers your business the creativity and expertise to print your logo on a variety of items. Owners Ken and Linda Johnson have 40 years of experience on industrial parts and every type of material, including ceramic tile. Their fast service can have your project done in less than a week. Visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com, to see for yourself how they can help you boost your company's marketing and industrial screen printing needs. Call 971-998-9274 or visit their website, specialtyscreenprinting.com.
In Likeness of You offers caricatures, face painting, temporary tattoos, indoor and outdoor games, arcade games, and even costume hero birthday events. Since 2013, they've even held corporate events for some of the biggest companies in the world. For more information or to book your next party, go to inlikenessofyou.com, thebash.com, or call 503-858-0164. That's 503-858-0164. Westside Mobile Media has a number of sponsors they'd like to thank for helping us bring you Banks High School athletics and Portland Barbers American Legion baseball all summer long. But we'd also like to recognize some Legion sponsors mentioned in the official program. DeMarini Bat Company, based in Hillsboro. Also, the Barbers men's barber shop, which is taking 0-1 the count to, I believe, Jalen Riddle, the hitter. Top of the 3rd inning. Pitch is turned on and ripped foul towards the coach's box at 3rd. Also, D-Bat hitting cages and baseball equipment here on site. The only vendor on site for the tournament, at least so far. Pitch is grounded to short, throw to first in time for out number 1 on an 0-2 pitch. Back to the top of the order for the challengers, number 24, Aiden Hibbler, 3rd baseman. Also want to recognize Tigard American Legion, Post 158, sponsoring 2 teams this year, or I believe for the last number of years. Hillsdale, which includes Ida B. Wells, formerly known as Wilson High School in Southwest Portland, and the Portland Barbers. You know, 1 pitch to Hibbler, swung on and missed, 0-2. First miss of the at-bat to Hibbler, 1-2 the count. Perry, 1-2, swung on and missed. On a nasty pitch that started inside and tail nearly broke off the plate. Swung on and missed for out number 2. Batting number 7, Kyle Miller, the right fielder for the challengers. Perry trying to sit down Eugene in order in the top of the 3rd. Taken all the way for strike 1. Pitch is lifted to right, and that's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Perry and the Barbers defense. Challengers go in order. No runners allowed in the top of the third. After 2.5, Barbers 2 and Eugene nothing. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Are you passionate about making a positive impact on the environment? Are you ready to turn your passion for sales into a home-based adventure? We have an exciting opportunity for you. With our flexible work-from-home opportunity, you have the freedom to set your own hours. No more rigid schedules or commuting hassles. Work on your terms and achieve the work-life balance you've always desired. Say goodbye to quotas and hello to flexibility. You set your own hours, ensuring the perfect work-life balance. But it gets better. Get paid for making a difference. Help people transition to clean energy and contribute to a healthier planet. Your success is not just measured in sales, but in the positive impact you make on people and the environment. Ready to make a difference while earning from the comfort of your home? Call us at 503-83-94949 to join our team and be part of our solar revolution.
Bottom of the third inning, we have a new pitcher for Eugene, number 12, Braden Corgan. Replacing starter for Eugene, I believe Aiden Saunders. Correction, Grady Saunders, number 14. Gabe Coleman will lead off for the Barbers in the bottom of the third, already a 2-0 lead. First pitch lined past the diving effort of the second baseman, a leadoff base hit for Gabe Coleman to open the bottom of the third inning as the lights start to come on here as it starts to as dusk starts to set in. Batting for the Barbers, number 10, Carter Stewart. First pitch nearly hit him, and it does. And Barbers are going to have runners at first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. And what has been a defensive battle despite the Barbers getting the bases loaded last inning. That was not really the fault of the Challengers pitching, but more their defense behind them. Well, in fact, one of those 2 runs that scored, I believe, was most likely unearned. Now the Barbers, after the hit batter that time, have runners at first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the third inning. That'll bring up number 4, third baseman Joe Fagan. A little bit high, ball 1. The 1-0 from Corrigan misses outside, 2-0. Seen a lot of teams in this tournament early that in the Barbers, a team we're familiar with as well, that very crafty. They can create a lot of runs without a lot of base hits, and you just have one little crack in your defense and it can turn into a canyon. And on the sacrifice to right field, the runner will advance from second to third on the fly ball to right from Barbers third baseman Joe Fagan. 1 out, runners at the corners. Batting number 24, Ryder Nakamura. Seen a couple of teams in this contest 4 or 5 hits without scoring a run. Mainly Staten in their 10-3 loss to Medford. First pitch to Ryder Nakamura, swung on and missed. Fastball away, 0-1. The 1 pitch misses way outside, can't get him to chase. 1 ball and 1 strike. Barbers had the bases loaded last inning and runners at the corners with 1 out. The bottom of the 3rd inning. Is up and away, 2-1. Again, Westside Mobile Media looking for sponsors for the 2025-26 Banks High School athletics season, starting with football and volleyball the first week of September, just a couple of weeks away. Up and away, 3-1 the count. Email us at Westside's Greatest Hits, or email us at westsidemobilemedia@gmail.com. Check out our website, Westside's Greatest Hits.com, or our YouTube channel, Westside Mobile Media, for a history of our broadcasts for the Portland Barbers and Banks High School athletics. Three, 2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Out number 2, a big out for Eugene with runners at the corners, trying to keep it to just a 2-run deficit heading to the top of the 4th. Now batting number 1, Logan Nakamura. First pitch swinging, comes up empty. Fastball can't connect, 0-1. Here, 1 pitch, swung on and popped to left. And able to make the catch in amongst the shadows. Kind of one of those, there's a pretty wide area in foul territory up until you reach about 2/3 of the way to the fence on both sides. And third baseman for the challenger is able to make the grab. Aiden Hibbler. Barbers get runners at the corners on a 1 base hit, but are unable to score after 3. Still the Barbers 2, and the Eugene Challengers nothing as we go to the top of the 4th inning. We'll be back in 1 minute after this from Jim's Market.
Jim's Market in Banks is an institution serving the community for generations. They're actively involved in events and athletics from the youth league to high school level. Let them serve you with their locally grown fresh produce, fresh bakery items, including custom cakes, and quick hot food from their in-store deli. Jim's Market, conveniently located at the south entrance to Banks.
The Army National Guard plays a vital role in your community. We're on the front lines supporting essential personnel, first responders, law enforcement, and medical professionals, delivering food, supplies, and medicine, keeping communities safe, making a difference. During emergencies, we're always ready, always there. Learn more about part-time service in the Army National Guard at nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the Oregon Army National Guard, aired by the Oregon Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Leading off for the challengers in the top of the fourth, number 14, starting pitcher Grady Saunders fouls off. I believe he fouled off the first pitch. May have just got past the catcher. Either way, it's 0-1. Having a little fun in between innings with some of the crowd music being played. Let me get your hands up. That's a fan favorite at Hops games. Northwest League High A affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks. 0-2 the count to Grady Saunders, starter for the challengers. The 0-2 from Perry. Check swing, says no at first base. 1-2 the count. A 3-umpire crew for the entire Legion tournament, at least to this point. Check swing on a pitch that gets past Dakota Chun again. Way outside, 2-2. Barbers' pitching and defense has been a pretty decent job through the first 3 innings, allowing only 2 base hits. Pitch from Perry, chopped high, charging on the play. Throw to first is low, but in time for out number 1. Great play by Joe Fagan on the 5-3 toss across for out number 1. Connor Clift batting for Eugene, starting first baseman. In fact, I think it's no mistake that the Barbers' 2-run lead is also the same number of errors that Eugene has in the contest. Defense has definitely been key in this game. First pitch to Clift is low and away. Want to know the count? The pitch from Perry, maybe a touch low. It looked like it did cross the plate. We're set up right behind home plate in the press box of University of Portland, and that's going to reach the gap. That may be extra bases for Connor Clift. That's going to bring the tying run to the plate with 1 out for Eugene on a double to the wall in left center near the We Are Portland sign. On the 3rd hit of the game for Eugene. Batting number 10, catcher Caden Gould. Earlier, I think I called him Aiden Gould. First pitch swung on, and that's going to get down for back-to-back base hits for Eugene. They're going to hold the runners at the corners. I know the Barbers are going to need a double play to get out of the inning to avoid allowing any Eugene runs in the top of the 4th. And that's going to bring Barbers head coach Joe Duran out of the dugout. Keep things here unless we see that a pitching change has been made. And that will break up the visit to the mound. Braden Corrigan with 1 out for Eugene. Runners at the corners. Pitch is down for ball 1, and we talked about being effective on the base paths. Eugene has 4 hits, no runs. Barbers have 2 runs and less hits. Throw to first. Big part of those 2 runs were the 2 errors committed by Eugene. And pitch is down. Check swing from Corrigan, the new pitcher. We know the count. Pitch from Perry. Strike taken all the way, 2-1. Pitch misses, 3-1 the count. Perry. Sweeping. Kind of almost a cutter. 3-2 count is full. 1 out in the top of the 4th. Pitch fouled straight back into the netting. About a third of the way up the first base side. Count remains full, 3-2. Big moment for the challengers, trying to tie this game or possibly even take the lead, and they're going to cut the deficit in half as a bloop single to left. The 5th hit of the game will bring home their first run of the game. Now trailing 2-1 in the top of the 4th. Tying run in scoring position at second. Go ahead, run at first. Pitch from Perry, breaking ball, nasty. Right to left curve and taken for strike 1. Crowd on the concourse up the first base side here at Joe ETZEL Field. 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed on a tailing fastball, 0-2. Big pitch for the Barbers to try to hold on to the slimmest of margins. Ooh, nice pitch, maybe a little bit high. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Landon Lay. It could be Jalen Riddle. It's either 8 or 6. And strike 3 called. Ring him up for out number 2. Batting shortstop number 31, Grady Hazen. It was Landon Lay that struck out the second out of the inning a moment ago on a called 3rd strike. First pitch, strike at the knees to Hazen, 0-1. Perry trying to come back and get a couple of key outs for the Barbers, with the tying run at scoring position at second base. Swung on a miss, strike 2. Go-to pitch. Line back up the middle for a base hit. They're going to send the tying run to the plate. And the throw. They got him caught. And they make the tag to hold the 1-run lead. A huge play on a defensive running blunder, or on a running blunder from the challengers. They do get the base hit on a fly ball to center field, but end the bottom of the 4th on a rundown between third and home plate. And after 3.5, Barbers clinging to a 2-1 lead, but challengers with all the momentum. After 3.5, it's Banks, Portland 2, and the Eugene Challengers 1. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Same great smile, same great service, but a brand new location and a great new team. Sarah Hesselman Group is still proud to support Banks High School athletics, but has now joined the Premier Property Group real estate team with new offices located in Bethany. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, contact the Sarah Hesselman Group, Sarah at sarahhesselman.com, or call 503-313-0748.
Visit Main Street Pizza in Banks, located next to Jim's Market, for the best pizza in Washington County. From loaded hot baked subs to a Main Street special pizza piled high, we will satisfy your pizza cravings. We've been serving and supporting the Banks community since 1986. Open daily at 11 a.m. Call ahead now to place your order at 503-324-5858 or follow us on Facebook to see our daily lunch specials. Mention this radio ad and receive $2 off any Main Street pizza.
And we're back bottom of the fourth inning. Barbers a 2-1 lead as Eugene gets on the board Eugene gets on the board with their first run of the game. 4 hits in the inning, but only 1 run to show for it. The Barbers have twice as many runs and half as many hits. First pitch to Jaden Nakamura, misses for ball 1. Swung on, and that's going to be caught by a great diving effort by the center fielder, Landon Lay, for out number 1 in the bottom of the fourth inning. Top of the order for the Barbers, number 6 center fielder, Kainoa Santiago. Pitch way inside, must have caught the back corner of the plate late. 0-1 the count. Pitch swung on, popped up. Chase it down into foul territory and drifts away from the third baseman, Aiden Hibbler. 0-2 the count. Hibbler again, ripped foul. That's going to drift out of play into the third base bullpen area. Again, down the left field line. And towards the line, nearly losing it in the sun, but able to make the grab, is the left fielder, Jalen Riddle, for out number 2. Batting number 15, designated hitter Griffin Scott. A couple of Barbers players with power to leave the yard here. Pitch. Swung on, fouled off to the right side, out of play, 0-1. Strike 2 taken at the knees. Two outs, 0-2 the count to Griffin Scott. He's struck out twice. And make it a trifecta as he smacks his helmet and heads to the dugout for yet another time. I think he's going to be warming up in the bullpen for the Barbers when they return to the field after 4. Challengers gathering some momentum after their run in the top half and setting the Barbers down in order in the bottom half. We go to the 5th inning. Still, Portland clinging to a 1-run lead at 2-1 over the Challengers.
Explore your world with Donna Mallard Hawkins at Infinity Escapes Travel. She's a Banks alum and can help you find great deals on cruises with Regent 7 Seas and discounts on guests with Virgin Voyages and Royal Caribbean. Want to stay ashore? Check out featured tours like National Parks of the American West, like tours of Croatia and Madagascar. Book your next vacation with Donna Mallard Hawkins and Infinity Escapes Travel, calling 823-634-8080 or visit infinityescapestravel.com.
Leading off the top of the fifth for Eugene, number 6 left fielder Jalen Riddle. First pitch fouled out of play off to the right side, 0-1. Down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-1 Barbers in the top of the fifth inning. Eugene able to cut the Barbers lead in half in the top of the fourth on 4 base hits. Pitch is grounded to short, throw to first. In time for out number 1. Jaden Nakamura, the throw to Stewart at first base. 6-3 for the first out of the fifth inning. Top of the order for the challengers, number 24, Aiden Hibbler, third baseman. Pitch is taken for strike 1. Catches the outside edge, 0-2. Two-strike count, chopped foul, left of third. Between the bag and the coach's box, still 0-2. Again, the 0-2 to Aiden Hibbler. Steps out. He sets deep in the left side of the batter's box. And big pitch misses away outside. 1-2, can't get him to chase. Perry's still well ahead in the count. Couple of pitches to play with. And down in the dirt on the cutter. 2-2 the count. And when I say down in the dirt, I mean artificial ground painted turf. Pitch reaches for one and lifts it out of play, foul. Again, off to the right side, 2-2. The artificial dirt turf, Joe Etzel Field, much different than the one we're seeing at Hillsborough Ballpark, a much lighter brown. 2-2 pitch, ripped to third. Fagan turns the backhand, the throw to first on a web jam. That's a Sports Center top 10 type play as he turns to his right, spins with the backhand, gets up, throws to first, and records the second out in plenty of time for out number 2, and that'll bring up Kyle Miller, right fielder for the Challengers, with 2 outs. Pitch inside, 1-0. Taking breaking ball, hits across at the knees, 1-1. Pitch swung on late, fouled out of play, 1-2. Perry, after allowing 4 hits last inning, trying to keep Eugene off the bases here in the top of the fifth, and gets Miller to chase on a pitch down and away for out number 3 on a swinging third strike. And after 4.5, Barbers still clinging to a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the fifth inning when we return. Whether it's a steaming hot old-fashioned cup of joe or hot chocolate on a cold winter day, or an ice-cold Italian soda or iced coffee on a hot summer day, any time is a great time to stop by Scoggins Creek Coffee. With 2 locations in Gaston and Yamhill Carlton, their warm and friendly baristas will get you the delicious drink of your choice. Scoggins Creek Coffee, call 503-985-3483, 503-985-3483.
Proudly serving our neighbors in Washington County since 1946, LaHaye's is your destination for locally made Letterman's jackets, custom embroidery for business apparel or a unique gift, and scouting uniforms and supplies. LaHaye's is on the corner of 3rd and Main in historic downtown Hillsboro. Open Wednesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4, and anytime online at lahayes.com or call us at 503-648-2341.
Bottom of the 5th inning, leading off for the Barbers, catcher number 18, Dakota Chun. First pitch driven to center field, going back, and that's going to bounce off the base of the wall, just not quite enough to leave the yard, but first offense the Barbers have seen in quite some time, and Dakota Chun gets it started in the bottom of the 5th with a deep double to straightaway center field off the base of the wall. Batting number 19, right fielder Gabe Coleman. Stop foul out of the batter's box. Will drift out of the circle behind home plate, 0-1. And that's going to reach into right field. Dakota Chun is going to be held up at the corner. And runners at first and third, nobody out. Back-to-back base hits for the Barbers. And now trouble for Braden Corrigan. Number 10, Connor Stewart, the first baseman, takes first pitch high, ball 1. And that's going to be lifted foul, but playable, and it's going to be lost. It's going to drift right down the left field line, but they're going to say just foul. Luckily, that ball was not caught. 3 players converged, and I think the issue that time was nobody called it. Swung on and on that one foul to the top of the net, up shortly up the third base side, 1-2 to first baseman Connor Stewart. One-two from Corrigan, runner at first goes, pitch is swung on and missed. We're out number 1, runners at second and third for Joe Fagan. Joe Fagan, the third baseman, a 2-1 lead for the Barbers in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runners in scoring position. 1 out. Pitch down and away, ball one. The 1-0 swung on, grounded to second. Turns, throw to first is the only play. Dakota Chun will score from third to make it 3-1 Barbers. So sacrifice grounder to second makes it 3-1 in favor of Portland. Number 24, Raiden Nakamura, center, not center fielder, Raiden Nakamura at the plate. Pitch a called strike. Pitch just misses down and in, 1-1 the count. Raiden Nakamura, the left fielder. 1-1 pitch is high, 2 balls and 1 strike. 1 run on 2 base hits for the Barbers in the bottom of the 5th, leading 3-1. Pitch, sweeping fastball. Can't connect. Count is even 2-2. Oregon trying to get out of the inning, allowing just the 1 run. Two pitch. Kicks and swing and a miss from Raiden Nakamura. Comes up empty. And the Challengers end at the bottom of the 5th, but the Barbers do get 1 run on 2 base hits after 5. It's now the Portland Chargers, or Portland Barbers 3, and the Eugene Challengers 1, not the Chargers. No Chargers playing in this game. NFL, though, is just a few weeks away. Top of the 6th inning when we come back. Challengers trailing, coming to the plate down to their final 6 outs when we return.
At Wana Credit Union, every individual is unique, with different needs, different wants, and different goals. This is who we are, and we live here. Our families live here. Our friends live here. This is our home, because to us, you're not a number. You're an individual. Wana Credit Union. Individuals welcome.
O'Leary Air is proudly offering Daikin Comfort Pro HVAC products. They've been serving the West Side and Greater Portland Metro since 2015. They pride themselves in getting the job done right, backed by a legacy of integrity, respect, and honesty. O'Leary Air offers competitive pricing on all their work. Give them a call today at 503-989-5251. That's 503-989-5251. Online at o'learyair.com. CCB number 239855.
We saw Griffin Scott after his rough night offensively being summoned to the bullpen area after the bottom of the 4th inning, and he does come in to take over on the mound for Connor Perry here in the top of the 6th inning for the Barbers. Trying to close it out in a kind of a save opportunity with the Barbers needing to record just 6 more outs to advance to the semifinals tomorrow afternoon. Leading off the top of the 6th for the Challengers, number 14, Grady Saunders, starting pitcher. 1 run, 6 hits, 2 errors, and that's been the margin of advantage for the Barbers much of the contest. Barbers 3 runs, just 5 hits, but again, the 2-run advantage in the top of the 6th. First pitch to Saunders, 0-1 the count. Swung on and line down the right field line into the corner. That could be trouble. The throw to second is not going to be in time, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate for Eugene with nobody out in the top of the 6th. Connor Cliff, first baseman for Eugene, batting with a runner in scoring position. No outs in the top of the 6th. Pitch is taken, looked like a good pitch down around the knees, but maybe a little bit below that. It ruled ball 1. Pitch taken for a strike at the knees that time, 1-1. One pitch, chop foul, turned on off the first base side, 1-2. A 1-2 lifted to left, starting to come in and then going back on the fly ball for out number 1 for the Barbers. Right to Nakamura. Batting number 10, Caden Gould. Scott turns and looks the runner back to second. Want to know the count on a pitch in the dirt? Is down and in, 2-0 the count. Two zero is downstairs, 3-0. And another miss here would put the tying run aboard with nobody out in the top of the 6th. And first strike of the at-bat finally comes on a 3-0 pitch from Griffin Scott with a runner at second and the tying run at the plate. Scott looks at second. The pitch swung on and driven to center field, having to wait on it. And they're going to keep the runners at the corners. Again, 1 out for the Challengers. 8 hits, but only 1 run. New pitcher number 12, Braden Corrigan. Time has been called, and that may be it for Griffin Scott. Barbers head coach Joe Duran out of the dugout to meet with the infield. And starting pitcher Griffin Scott. And home plate umpire comes out, and the crowd on the mound disperses. Again, Braden Corgan with a 1 out and runners at the corners. And a base hit scores the runner from third, obviously, but more importantly, pulls Eugene back within a run, throw to first. Definitely want to be careful with keep the pickoff moves to a minimum with throwing error on a pickoff at first could also score the run from third, which is a strike at the knees, 0-1. One pitch down, skips to the plate, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch from Griffin Scott, down and in, 2 balls and 1 strike. Throw to first. Two and 1 the count. Braden Corgan, the hitter. New pitcher for the Challengers, or second pitcher of the game. This is outside, 3-1. And the Barbers do have somebody warming up in the bullpen behind third base. Swung on and flared into the top of the screen. Just off the first base side. Count is full 3-2. And check swing. They said he went. And another coup for the Barbers. I think that's a huge break. And so does the Eugene Challenger third base coach. He's going to come in to argue the call. They still only have 1 out on the scoreboard, but has been ruled out number 2 because there's still just runners at the corners. They have not brought the next hitter to the plate. I think we're going to have a substitution from Eugene. It will be Eli Kreist batting for Eugene with 2 outs. Throw to first. Spelled like Christ minus the H. Christ. Pitch is down from Griffin Scott, 1-0. Swung on a miss, fastball, home run swing, but can't connect. 1-1. University of Portland, a Jesuit Catholic school. Metal, very, very thin, classic, older style cross in left center. Big swing and a miss. 1-2. Griffin's got a big pitch. Runners at the corners, tying runs aboard for Eugene. 3-1 Barbers lead despite getting out hit 8-5. Griffin Scott up and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Barbers had scored 2 runs in the bottom of the second inning and have kept it at about a 2-run advantage since. Throw to first, low, but in time for out. Oh, they're going to say it's a foul ball. I think that may have been a makeup call to challengers. One more pitch at the plate. Throw to first. 1 run, 8 hits, 2 errors for Eugene. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Portland Barbers. Top of the 6th inning, 2 outs, runners at the corners for the challengers. Scott up and away, ball 3. Three, 2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and that's a huge strikeout for Griffin Scott and the Barbers. Again, Eugene, a great opportunity to tie, but they record the 3rd out on a 3rd strike swinging. Eugene leaves a pair of runners aboard at 1st and 3rd in the top of the 6th. Eugene down to their final 3 outs when they come to the plate in the top of the 7th. Barbers hoping to pick up at least an insurance run or possibly 2 in the bottom of the 6th. After 5.5, it's the Barbers 3 and the Portland Challengers, or the Eugene Challengers 1. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Do you have your next vacation planned? Whether it's time for a cruise, weekend getaway, or a bucket list resort, let Lazy Hammock Travel in North Plains help you. Lazy Hammock Travel, your passport to relaxation. Call Jason Ackerman at 503-332-5571 or visit their website, lazyhammocktravel.com. Lazy Hammock Travel, proud sponsors of Banks Braves Athletics and American Legion Baseball on Westside Mobile Media.
Are you looking for a job with flexible hours, a way to support your community, or a first step toward a career in education? ESS has exciting substitute teacher and paraprofessional openings at schools throughout Eastern Yamhill, Columbia, and Washington counties. You'll enjoy creating your own schedule with weekly pay, ongoing training, and benefits. Begin your rewarding career in education by applying today at ess.com.
Bottom of the 6th inning, Barbers leading 3-1, 2 in the 2nd and 1 in the 5th. Eugene's only run came in the top of the 4th. But again, in a pitcher's duel, you cannot have unforced mistakes, and 2 errors for Eugene right now is the difference in the game. Pitch from Corrigan turned on and ripped foul into the top of the screen by Logan Nakamura and won the count. Logan Nakamura, Barbers' second baseman, will be the 8-9-1 hitters for the Barbers in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch from Corrigan just outside, 1-1. 1-1 pitch. Gets away from the catcher, Caden Gould, for just a minute. 2-1 the count. And turns on one down the left field or right field line, but that's going to be foul into the corner. 2-2. Two-two pitch, swung on and missed. Out number one in the bottom of the sixth for the Barbers. Batting number 8, Jaden Nakamura. And Eugene may be going to their bullpen to bring somebody out for the save, but not really much of a bullpen area off the first base side. Kind of a little bit of a knoll. They are going to bring in somebody out of the dugout. Pitching change for the challengers. Looks like it will be Jaden Lucas, number 16. We'll take a 1-minute break and be back after this. Eugene pitching change 3-1. Barbers in the bottom of the sixth with one out when we return.
Banks Post newspaper is the official news provider of West Side's greatest hits. Listen hourly for West Side news from the Banks Post newsroom. Banks Post newspaper covers Banks, Manning, Buxton, Roy, and surrounding western Washington County communities. If you'd like more information on the Banks Post or want to pick up a copy, visit a local business today. You can also visit their website at bankspost.com or their Facebook page, Banks Post.
One out for the Barbers in the bottom of the sixth after the pitching change. Now batting number 8, Jaden Nakamura. Barbers shortstop. First pitch strike called, 0-1. It's high, 1-1 the count. The 1-1 turned on and grounded to third. Underhand toss, not in time. Diving to the bag, Jada Nakamura in it just ahead of the throw. And see if they rule that another Eugene error. I don't think so. I think that's just, they will give the Barbers a base hit on that play. Bang, bang play, and Eugene out to discuss the call with the first base umpire. They're not going to overturn the call. One out and a base runner at first for the Barbers. And Noah Santiago, the hitter. Barbers center fielder, top of the order with one out and a runner at first. Pitch taken for strike one. The 0-1 from the left-hander down the left field line. That's going to keep runners at first and second, a runner in scoring position. Possible insurance run with one out. But a good opportunity for the challengers to pick up a double play. So we'll see if they're not going to have Griffin Scott hit or bunt. He's got too much power. They'll likely try possibly a hit and run or a steal in this situation to avoid the double play. Lucas, the left-hander, steps off. Looks the runner back to second. Runners at first and second with one out. Pitch is lifted to the right side. Foul but playable. And able to make the catch, tagging on the play. Throw to third will not be in time. 2 outs for the Barbers. Runners at the corners. For 18, Dakota Chun could be the final out for the Barbers in the bottom of the 6th. One run, 8 hits, 2 errors for Eugene. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Barbers. First pitch, strike at the knees, but apparently missed outside. Not a strike, ball 1. It's been a very tight strike zone all weekend. Throw to first, diving back. I believe is Santiago. 1-0 pitch. This is inside that time, 2-0. Pitch is outside, ball 3. And strike taken at the knees by Dakota Chun. 3-1 the count. High chopper to second. This could be trouble. The flip to second is in time, though. The shortstop covering second, I should say. 4-6 put out to end the bottom of the 6th. Barbers get a couple of base runners, but unable to score in the bottom of the 6th. Eugene down to their final 3 outs when we come back in the top of the 7th. Portland 3, Challengers 1 when we return.
Legacy Roofing can save your home from leaks, mold, and other issues related to an older roof, preventing future roof issues, saving you thousands of dollars. They use only the most trusted materials backed by an excellent warranty that is transferred if you ever sell your home. Legacy is tops in their field, earning the GAF Master Elite certification and the Golden Pledge warranty. For more information or to get a free quote, call 503-357-7663 today.
Three to 1 Barbers, top of the 7th. Eugene down to their final 3 outs. Griffin Scott will stay in to try to close it out for the Barbers. If they win, they'll advance to take on Medford tomorrow afternoon. A Eugene loss will see them drop to play Staten. Which could be the 4 o'clock game. The 4 o'clock game should be the Barbers in Medford, but due to the fact that, not sure why, Barbers are looking for a 1 o'clock start time tomorrow, so as the host team, they have that prerogative. Leading off for Eugene, their final 3 outs, number 31. Grady Hazen, shortstop, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Challengers. Pitches up and away, ball 1. Pitch taken outside, 2-0. And Barbers have removed their pitcher that was warming up in the bullpen last inning. Inside, down and in, 3-0. And he loses him on 4 pitches, and the tying run will come to the plate. And that's going to be it for Griffin Scott, I'm sure, as Barbers head coach Joe Duran comes out for the second time and turns to look back at his dugout to see who he has available. Well, he's going to stick with Griffin Scott. We'll see if this is a deadly move for the Barbers. Jalen Riddle, the left fielder. For the Challengers, first pitch finally finds the strike zone for the first time in the top of the 7th, 0-1. Just misses low and away, 1-1 the count. Big swing and a miss, strike 2. On a pitch down possibly below the knees out of the strike zone. One, two, swung on, driven to right, and this could be trouble, and it's going to drop. And the Barbers have the tying runs aboard on their 9th hit of the game, and nobody out and a runner in scoring position at second. Hayden Hibbler, top of the order. Third baseman for the Challengers, nobody out. Hunt shown, pitches strike 1, throw to second. Ooh, close play, but throw not in time. 0-1 the count to Hibbler. 9 hits in the game for Eugene, just 1 run. Scott steps off, looks the runner back. The 0-1. Scott comes to the plate again. Bunt shown, and it's popped straight back. 0-2. Will Portland be able to hold on, or will Eugene make a furious rally here in the top of the 7th to at least tie? Three to 1 lead, but runners at first and second for Eugene. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. Pitch is taken high, 1-2. Hibbler, the 1-2 count. Griffin Scott on the mound for the Barbers. Swung on, fouled straight back. He may have pulled something on that, on the reach for that foul ball. He's going to take a couple practice swings. He looked a little gimpy coming out of the box. Again, the 1-2. Nobody out for Eugene in the top of the 7th, trailing 3-1. Scott turns to second, comes to the plate, misses. Oh, ruled strike 3 on the first out of the top of the 7th on a pitch that looked almost like it was going to hit him. Appeared to be down and in, and that will bring number 7, Kyle Miller, right fielder, to the plate for Eugene. Now a double play ends the game. First pitch from Griffin Scott popped up to right. Drifting over late, coming over, making the catch in right center. Runners are going to stay put. Eugene down to their final out. Number 14, starting pitcher Griffin Saunders. Eugene down to their final out. Top of the 7th, 3-1 Barbers lead despite getting out hit 9-7. First pitch fouled straight back. The 0-1 popped up to center field. This should do it. And the Barbers close out the Eugene Challengers despite giving up 2 base runners in the top of the 7th. Portland Barbers 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd, and 2 key Eugene errors early are the key in the victory for Portland to advance to the semifinal round tomorrow afternoon against Medford. 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th. Eugene only run came in the top of the 4th. 1 run, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Challengers. 3 runs, 7 hits for the Barbers. Final score, Portland 3, Eugene 1. Eugene drops to the losers bracket where they will face Staten in the other losers bracket game, the other being Roseburg and the Hillsborough Wet Sox. Final score, that'll do it for us from Joe Etzel Field on the campus of the University of Portland. It's the Portland Barbers 3 and the Eugene Challengers 1, your final score. Hope to talk to you again tomorrow. We'll be doing a little public address duty for the early game at 10 o'clock between Roseburg and Hillsborough. And we'll also have the broadcast at either 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock for the Barbers and the Eugene Challengers. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you are not with us tomorrow, enjoy the rest of it. Good night and God bless.